I don't know how many times I actually got to say this, but I try to tell our people this all the time. But it seems like it's like it just they don't get it, or it's like they not trying to hear it. It's like they don't get it. You know what I mean? It's like they get everything else, but they miss that one little part. The reason I'm doing this video is because I be doing videos, and I got a message from one of my family members. They said that I'd be looking aggressive, and I want to try to address myself to the best of my ability. Am I a harmful person? No, I'm not a harmful person. A harmful person at all. Uh, I loves my people of color. I do. I loves my people of color, my black people, and this and that and the third. I advocate for my people all the time. Uh, Dealing with oppression and stuff. When it come down to Esau, the so-called white man, I expose him. The knowledge that I have, yes, I get on here and I talk about the exposing of so-called white man, white supremacy. I want to make sure I get that out of the way. I, do I believe in the Bible? Yeah, absolutely, 1,000% and 80% and more. And I have what is called the Apocrypha and all of that. So I speak out against that. I'm very passionate when it comes down to my people. I have faults. I have hang-ups. Um, did I come from a lineage on my father's end and my mother's end? With my father's end, did they have bad traits and stuff? Absolutely. Am I proud of that? No, I'm not proud of that. But am I working on myself? Am I working to change all those conditions and those curses and things of that nature that was on my family? I don't want to be the next generation to pass it on. Absolutely. So I just want to make sure that I get that out of the way, because when people look at me, when they watch my video, it's like I'm looking too aggressive, and they like, damn, oh my goodness, he looked like he ready to go to war and come out. No, that's why I'm saying that's why I'm here to make a video to clarify myself. No, I'm not a violent person. No, I'm not that. You know, um, am I married? Have I ever been married? No, I never have. Have I ever tried to look for a wife, a woman in my life, whatever you want to call it, girlfriend, whatever? Absolutely, I did it when I was in my 30s. I'm 47 now. As I gotten older, I desire. Don't get me wrong, I still desire, but I think differently about it. I be trying to see where the girl's head at. You see what I'm saying? That's just the honest me. I want to. The most important thing, I want to see where the head is at. You can be pretty all day, but if you um is not genuine, and you if I'm in the Bible or teaching my, I want my girl to say, hey, look, I keep the commandments of the Most High God. You got to keep the commandments. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely, you definitely would get the word, the Most High. Like some people say, you can't just Bible them to death and stuff like that, and give them scripture all day long and stuff like that. I'm not saying that people do that, but you want to make sure that everything come out your mouth. You want to make sure you want to make sure you put the Most High first in everything. You know what I mean? And do it the right way. So I believe in doing the right thing. So when I'm going off and I'm telling the person to do something wrong, or trying to persuade, or being abused, I don't want to. I don't want nobody to feel like that I'm an abusive person, or no woman to feel like I'm abusive person. I never did that. I don't want to get off into that. Do I have faults or bad hangups? Yes, I do. Do I want to overcome it? Absolutely, I want to overcome it. I'm working every day. I said the year 2021, I'm gonna be better in 2022, and do everything I can to change my condition, so that I don't want to uh, you don't. It's very important to know who you're having kids with. If that person really loves the Most High, it talks about that in the Apocrypha. I like how the Apocrypha breaks it down. That means the hidden books or the lost books of the Bible. That a sinner won't be able to get the woman, but a man who has a God fearing wife, I think he said, is she would praise him more than she would praise the sinner man. The sinner man can't get her. She can't be touched by a sinner man, because she is wiser than she's spirit. She has wisdom from God. Things of that nature. So things of that nature. You know what I mean? So uh, if that person is not encouraging you to keep the commandments of the Most High God, or whatever, whether it be a man or woman or whatever, if they not encouraging you to do that, then that is somebody that you clearly you don't want to be with. But let me get to this part about judging. I kind of went off. I believe I kind of went off a little bit. So I just want to let y'all know those are the characteristics about me, and that's what I do everything in my power is to try my best is to uphold the standards of the Most High God. You see what I'm saying? And doing that, you cannot judge a book by its cover. You know what I mean? Like people look at me and they look at my videos and they say, this person is oh, you look like a demon. You look like you do this and that and the third. Move. You look like you'll do this. You look like you'll do that. You look like you'll do this. And I said, well, I gotta make a video. You just like your daddy. You just like your so and so, your grandpa, and all of them. All of them was evil. They was this and that and the third. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah and so on and so forth. You know, I do get attacked. But I just want to let this know. This goes out to the elderly lady as well too, because a lot of people misunderstand me. I can't make people understand my way. All I can do is get in my videos and just try to explain myself. You see what I'm saying? Or whatever. Because people look at me and they judge me by my outward appearance, and they say that I looks crazy. Maybe I don't know. Do I? You know, I don't go around trying to hurt nobody. I don't do that. You see what I'm saying? I do get mad. You know, if you tell me a lie, if you tell me something wrong, I will get mad. I have the attendance to go off. Yes, of course I do. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Do I have things like in my family bipolar and schizophrenic and stuff like that in my family on my father's end, on my people's side? I would say yeah. A lot of my people are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorders and stuff like that. You know, so that I'm not here to sit up in here and debate and deny all of that type of stuff. But my thing is that I'm working on that, and I'm working to change the thing. It's not about what you have. It's about what you're doing with what you have. Are you working? Am I working to change it? You see what I'm saying? That's the most important thing. Working to change your condition. So that's what I want to focus on. Is working on changing that and not generating children of generation of children, generating curse of children, generating a seed, a cursed seed, or whatever. See what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Let me put the link in here just in case if anybody want to come in here or whatever. You know. Okay, copy. Okay, I think I did that. No, I can. Yeah. Paste. Okay, now. Just in case if anybody want to join or they're going to come in or whatever. But I don't like when people take time to actually get to know a person before you make judgment about that person. You know what I mean? People look mean. People look like they'll tear the roof off of a house. They look like they'll tear walls down. They just look dangerous. They look like they are just a threat to society, whatever. You cannot judge a book by its cover. You have to actually sit down and you have to actually really talk with the person and everything in order to be able. You just can't just look at people and just make a judgment. You see what I'm saying? Because you got people out there who don't look aggressive, but they actually look the most dangerous people you ever want to look at. You be like, have you ever heard people say, "Oh, he looks so sweet and he looks so innocent"? If just to look at him, she don't even look like she was that dangerous. She just don't even look like they would have did nothing like that. Just look at them. You know what I mean? Just like I'm looking right now, I'm like I notice I be, you know what I'm saying? People might look at that and say, "Ooh, my goodness, I don't want. That's a dangerous young man. That's a dangerous person, or whatever." You know what I mean? Let me tell y'all something. Anybody is capable of being ungodly and dangerous. You see what I'm saying? Anybody, if you put a person, I'm talking about our people, you know, like I said, we have been trained and conditioned under Esau, is to be a certain way. You see what I'm saying? You can take a godly person and you can make a dangerous person out of them, or they can be influenced is to choose an ungodly way, and they can be real dangerous. You see what I'm saying? Because it depends on the environment that they're in. You see what I'm saying? You can take the sweetest up person, a godly Israelite person, a godly person, a so-called black or Hispanic. that's very sweet and nice, and you can put them in a toxic, toxic environment. And if they stay in there long enough, and they not prayed up, and they fall a week of prey, they can turn into a demonic, violent person. The same people that looks demonic, or that's demonic. You think about the demon that the in Mark chapter 5, where the demons, you remember the demons that the swine, the herd of swine that was in the man? Y'all remember that story, right? How he was full of demons, and the demon was foaming, raging, and just cutting himself, doing violence to himself, and just doing all kinds of just self-inflicting themselves, and just full of demons. And the Most High God, the God of Israel, walked up, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, walked up and healed that man of them demons. And them demons took and herd of swine, went into the sea and perished, right? So that's what we're dealing with. You see what I'm saying? So you take that example. Guess who used to be y'all know the Apostle Paul in the New Testament? He wrote most of the New Testament. Guess what he used to do? He was murdering the Christians, taking them and bounding them and putting them in prison, killing them and everything else. Paul was a murderer. And you go read that story, you'll see how he was a murderer. And Paul was an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. Paul was a murderer. You see what I'm saying? So if the Most High God can change the Hebrew brother into and bring him back, and he come back to his nationality, which was Benjamin, and he talked about how he dealt with the flesh, how he struggled with the flesh. He said, he clearly said, in this flesh there was no good thing, right? The Apostle Paul clearly says that. He said, but I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind and bringing me unto the law of captivity, the law of sin and death. He talked about the struggle. He said, every time he have a desire, he want to do good, evil shows up. Every time I want to do something good, there's always somebody there trying to come and bring a bunch of damn evil and trying to make you go off and trying to make you do some evil shit. You know, the Apostle Paul, he went through that. You know what I mean? You go read them stories. He was a murderer. He murdered Christians. He was killing. He thought it was right until he met the Messiah, the God of Israel, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob on the road, on his road to Damascus. That God allowed him to be blind. God blinded him. You know what I mean? And knocked him off his horse and humbled him. Now, this man, Paul, which was an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin, he murdered and killed Christians. Now, if he did that and God changed him, then what more can you do? When people look at me and they say, oh, that dude looked like a demon, he looked like this, he looked like that. You cannot judge a book by its cover. You see what I'm saying? And this is what I be trying to tell people all the time. You can't look at people the way that they look. You judge them by their conversation. You judge them how they treat you. You just judge that. And even then, if they got evil traits, people can change. You know? People can change. You know? So the moral of this whole video is there is nothing too hard for the Most High. He can't work on us and he can't change. So I'm confident. I have confidence that the Most High God can bring me from this level and make me a better person. So if you want to look at me in this camera and you want to look at me and say, oh, that guy looks like a demon, that guy looks like this here. No, I'm very passionate about my people, and I'm not happy living in sin. I'm not happy with that type of lifestyle. So I'm turning to the Most High God and let all that stuff go, and I want to do it His way. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do. So that's what I made this channel for. You know what I mean? Is to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to do. You know. So I might have to just come back and do another video and just talk about some other stuff, because I want to make sure that I don't leave nothing out. I want to make sure I'm telling the truth. I put the link in the chat just in case if anybody wanted to come in and join. But I repeat, I'm not a violent person. I get mad. Now, don't get me wrong. I get mad. I get pissed off, and I'll say some crazy shit. I do. I ain't gonna lie to you now. I do, and I'm being as good as possible. I don't want people to get a misunderstanding, but I am working. The most important thing is, as I'm speaking, I'm I'm even asking the Most High, what can I do is to make a change in my life, because I don't want to continue to repeat the same demons that my father had. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to repeat those same demons. I want to get rid of those demons, whether it was schizophrenic, bipolar, whatever they want to say he was. Say he was evil, this and that and the third. He was this, he was that, he was a murderer, he was this and that, the third, and all that kind of stuff. Even, let's just say, even if they was, I don't want to repeat that. Be like they say, we are our forefathers, but we have to do something. I want to break the cycle, and I want to pass a righteous, and I want it to my seed. You know what I'm saying? I want to pass that that clear up righteousness and bring the truth, so it won't, and create and pass the truth on to them, and not where they will grow up calling themselves a byword and being confused about who they are and their nationality and all that kind of stuff. That's what's important to me, knowing who you are, knowing that what tribe you come from. It's 12 tribes of Israel in the Bible. You know, things of that nature. You know what I mean? Knowing what tribe you come from is important, because it'll determine where you're going. So having a relationship with the Most High and all those things, and knowing who you are, knowing what lineage of a tribe that you descend from, that's what's important. So I feel like the curses that I go through and that I have, I feel like the curses that I did this for us living in poverty, growing up with having low resources, um, living from month to month, um, unfinancially able to get out there and do the thing, everything that you need to do. You see what I'm saying? I can pretty much relate to that. Single parent household, all those things. And I'm using them for educational purposes and things of that nature. So based upon that, even education, low in educational resources, not knowing how to read and write growing up, asking your family members to teach you to read stuff to you, read books to you. I did that. You see what I'm saying? Or I asked them to put stuff on tape for me so that I can actually listen to a lot of the things on tape. And that's what really actually helped me with my reading. That's why when you look at me and you see me reading the Bible, you see me reading the Apocrypha and all that kind of stuff, that is because I put in the work from years asking my family members is to put stuff on tape, because during that time they didn't even have internet. They didn't have none of this social media 16 years ago. They didn't have that. You see what I'm saying? So I've done everything in my power is to learn how to read, because it was frustrating to me. It was like it just was annoying. It was just irritating. It was just like a suffering, not knowing how to, just looking at a book and just all you can do is look at the words, but you can't really just sit there and tell. I couldn't tell you what it was. I didn't know how to break nothing down. Now I can read pretty much on a 12th grade level. I still, every now and then, I come across a couple of words that I don't understand, but for the most part, if somebody tell me something that's it's coming biblical, so to speak, and I can go and look it up. So I'm thankful for that part as well. You see what I'm saying? So on that note, I'm gonna see y'all later. And if it's anything else that I left out, if y'all want to hear something, shout out to brother Melon Wisdom. I love their videos. They break things down when it comes to Esau, the so-called white man, those things. And I'm looking forward to some more of those videos and breakdowns and stuff that they be doing. I love them. I love them. And I don't subscribe to that belief that God loves everybody. But I want to say this again. You cannot judge a book by its cover. You see what I'm saying? You can't look at something and say that's what it is if you haven't really sat down and supped with the person. You see what I'm saying? You can't do that. You see what I'm saying? Because they can look like they're aggressive, as bad, as mean, as person, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Um, but when you actually have a conversation with them, you'll find out they're sweet, genuine, and everything. And like, oh, I was just looking at your pictures and looking at this here and looking at that, and I just judge you based up off of pictures and stuff. You know what I mean? Or whatever. So what I'm doing, like I would say that my dad and the people on my dad's side, from what I know, I didn't get a chance to ask them very much about their life history and this and that and the third. But at the same time, I was I do believe that maybe back in the day, from my life, I don't take no shit or whatever. If something ain't right, I'm gonna tell you, I'll tell you off in a minute. I'll do those things, you know. I don't believe in you letting you just come up and just lie to me or something like that. If you ain't telling me the truth and you just telling me, just throwing something out there just to make you feel good or whatever, I'm not gonna want to associate myself with you, because you clearly you're showing me that you don't care about the truth. You don't care what it is or why I'm feeling uncomfortable, and I'm not gonna want to even be in your presence. You see what I'm saying? Because you're lying and you're not telling the truth. You see what I'm saying? If I'm being truthful to you, then I expect for you to be truthful to me and tell me the truth, even if it hurts or whatever. Because the truth shouldn't hurt me at all. The truth ain't supposed to hurt you. A lie's supposed to hurt you more than anything. Because the truth is supposed to, of course, it ain't gonna be no comfortable experience in hearing something plain in the real facts, but it is what it is. That's what it is. The truth is better than anything. So on that note, I'm gonna see y'all later, and we'll talk a little bit later. I love y'all as my people of color and so-called black people and my people of color, and this and that and the third. All right, we'll talk later. I'm out.